And we're live. Yo, what's up, everybody? And welcome to Reboot Round Episode 1, your number one spot for everything Fortnite related. News, content, comp, and casual. My name is GoLiveMike, and I'm joined by BJ Plays PC and InHawk Retro, aka PC Retro. And that rounds out your trio of hosts for today's episode. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms we happen to be on. What's fucking good, chat?
All right, so let's just get this started right away. Our first topic to discuss is state of Fortnite. Obviously, us three are Fortnite content creators. So why don't you start us off, Luke?
Okay, so the current state of Fortnite, in my opinion, I think for casual gameplay is low-key kind of at an all-time high. That might be a hot take that a lot of people disagree with, but that's just my opinion. I think that the casual game base is thriving right now, personally. But for like the rank grinders, I think it could be better. It could definitely be better. But with people adapting to metas and just learning how to fight so quick and the skill gap just getting further and further, I think it's going to go for a really good turn.
Man, dude, casual is always good. I hate it when people say that the casual Fortnite, there's too many sweats, the loophole is trash. Oh, now we have bullet drop. Now we have hit scan. Guys, stop complaining. I don't know if people in chat like that idea or that take, but casual Fortnite's always good. They're always doing collabs. They're always introducing new items and new mechanics. I mean, what other game has introduced like wall jumping and sliding and absurdly broken items that level out the skill gap between like little Timmy on his Nintendo Switch and BJ Plays PC in Grand Finals? You know what I mean? So the casual state of casual state of Fortnite, I think, is really good. The comp definitely has some room to grow for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, casual. I mean, it's always been good. Whenever I get a friend to hop on, obviously I'm like really the only one in my friend group that plays the game like a lot, especially nowadays. But when I get like my old OG friends on, like they think it's a lot of fun, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like is there one item where you can just turn into a bat? I forgot already.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah. No. So like we would be playing, and then they would turn into a bat. They'd be like laughing and giggling. So it's always a good time. My biggest issue. And I've had this issue since Chapter 5, obviously. I mean, obviously everyone has the same loot pool. We all play the same meta. No one's at an advantage in that regard. You know, it's a skill issue if you're not winning those fights. But at the same time, I kind of do wish that comp loadout, like whatever they have for comp, is like separated from like just the regular pubs loot pool. I think that caters to both audiences, and it doesn't take away any fun from like the people that are looking for those set items, like the overpowered weapons and stuff like that.
No, I agree. Do you with the base gloves or the base gloves, did they vault those because of the exploits due to like the infinite flying glitch? So that's both vaulted in casual and in comp, right?
No.
So
it's only vaulted in comp.
So is that not what like separate loopholes, for example? Is that not an example of Fortnite making an adjustment to the casual public matches versus the comp loophole by vaulting the base gloves only in comp?
Well, see, here's my take on that. Like, you know how Arena and pubs used to have completely separate loot pools, and Arena followed what comp had?
Oh, that's true. That's true, yeah.
I think that's more what me and BJ both were like.
Yeah.
Would definitely like better.
Do you think comp is better though with those things taken out?
100%.
100%. I believe so. Again, no matter what the meta is or whatever they put in, obviously, if the broken item is in comp, gonna just have to suck it up and just play with it. But like, well, pause on that. But
well, someone clip that.
Anyway, I don't know. I mean, it's just rough because it's always been something that I like in terms of comp is, you know, you're not getting run over by a car, or you're not like, obviously when that's just what I want, you know. I'm not telling everybody this is how the game should be.
For sure.
It's Fortnite. There's literally like 30,000 different ways you could play a single game, and that's the beauty of it. But
yeah,
it is annoying to die in certain ways where it feels like there's not as much skill involved. So I think just separating the loot pool, giving that opportunity for players to get better in a comp sense. Also, I feel like that's taken away when you don't separate loot pools. Sure, there's scrims and stuff like that. They've done the effort to make actual matchmaking, like the actual like scrim lobbies and stuff like that, official things that the scrim lobbies can host. But most scrims nowadays, they're not the best practice because they have those like zone practice things where it's like you
Yeah.
can't fight until surge, or you cannot fight until fifth zone closes. Because in a
Mhm.
realistic sense, that's not how the game is played.
yeah. Because I
You
mean,
need to practice your off spawn. You need to be able to find surge early on, and you can't just wait. So yeah, I think if they were to separate the loopholes, it gives more access to people that want to get good at comp, a little bit more chances to grow in that regard.
and something else too that I'd like to add on is like, with that being said, like this is kind of going a slightly off topic, but like something else I think they could do to change, like just people wanting to hop on the game, have a great time, is take out some of the bots that are in public lobbies.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's 95 bots to 5 real people.
I feel like I'm catching strays right here. I'd be feeling like a king in pubs right now.
But no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
realistically,
for sure. I agree.
a public match should not have 95 bots in it to 5 real players.
Yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad. And like they're making adjustments to the Fortnite intelligence, Fortnite AI to kind of make it seem like, oh, okay, he built like 2 walls. Or like I was shooting at a bot and then it walked behind a tree and then started peeking the tree. And I was like, holy wait, is that a real player? And then I killed him and it was like Slurpee Swamp 37. And I'm like, okay, that's definitely not a real player. But like, yeah, I don't know what to do because it's either you increase queue times or you have more bots. Like, what would you guys rather have?
At least for me, I've played a lot of video games where the queue time is just absolutely horrendous. I think if you you don't obviously have to take out every single bot, but it has to decrease in a sense. And I feel like even if you just decrease, I don't think the queue times will be that bad per se. Like I said, other video games have a lot worse queue times. Like I've sat in Overwatch lobbies and just sat there for like an hour before getting in a game, and you're just like, I don't think Fortnite's gonna have that bad of a queue. Well, I mean, it has happened before for me, but I feel like that was a queue bug, and I was just kind of stubborn, and I wanted to see how far that would go. But
or unless you get top 500 in ranked BR like 3 days into the season.
Right, but that's only applicable to 500 people. You know what I'm saying? So that's not applicable to me. I'm not nowhere near that. So
okay, yeah, I didn't see it personally live, or since I didn't see you get it live, there's a good chance that it's just not even real. Retro, like
no man,
you might have used ChatGPT.
No,
just saying.
You know when you get your rank and it flashes the screen white for a second. Yeah, you could have just cut it, and then it just says
no. It was on stream.
No, fake news.
No,
fake
actually,
news.
it was like a week into the season. I'll take that back. It wasn't 3 days. It was like
okay, but okay. On a real note, he was grinding, Chad. It was actually like inspirational if you think about it.
And see, I'm gonna add on to the server queues. See, realistically, I think the servers would run significantly better if they took out I'd say they could take out half the bots and it'd still be a realistic fun time. Because they take out half the bots, you're filling in on a realistic note. If they take out half the bots that are in every match, you're probably adding 20 to 30 more real players per match, right? So then that decreases the amount of separate servers per, say, NA East. NA East is going to have to run so many less lobbies, which will in hand make everybody's game run better. Because if you say you take out 50% of the bots, you're probably taking out a fifth of the amount of lobbies that are active on the region. And I feel like that's what a big problem was whenever, you remember, BJ, when we were playing ranked and the servers just felt horrible in 6-1.
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
It's just because so many people were playing normal pubs battle royale, so there was more lobbies that were open, which, more bots, you know what I'm saying? And it decreased every server, or like Battle Royale ranked was tanked because of how many people were playing normal pubs BR, but there were so many lobbies active at once that it just, like I said, it just degraded the performance of others.
And this kind of brings me back, man. I'm so fucking old, dude. This brings me back to the Chapter 1, Chapter 2 days where all we had was NA West and NA East.
I miss them. Gosh,
and, God bless the people in NA Central. That's great. I'm happy for you that you have your own server now, and you get the main server for comp, and you get zero ping, and you get sunny weather. All right, cool. All right, we get it. But now that we have NA Central, the queue times for NA East, NA Central, and NA West have all been degraded. They're all much lower or much higher, right? Because you have the significant population of people in the central area of the United States not having to choose a side. And what that means is that all three servers have higher queue times. Yeah. Me personally would love to see a return to NA West and NA East.
Oh God, dude. Please.
Yeah. In terms of a comp sense, or just like in general? Like we're not completely getting rid of the central server, right?
No. Keep it in pubs. Keep it in pubs.
Okay.
But for comp, move back to an NA West, NA East setup. Or even perhaps say, hey, I'll take it on the chin. Go NA Central, go NA East, right? NA West has the lowest player population out of all three servers. Get rid of NA West. Move it to NA Central and NA East for comp. And to me, I think that's a fair trade where we're lowering queue times for comp. And for pubs, you maintain, the same queue times you have now because there's still NA West servers, right? But there's something definitely needs to change, I think.
100%.
Just going back on the bots situation, because this is obviously how we got into this tangent. It is a rough subject, I guess, just because, a lot of people, depends who's playing, right? So some people get on just for the fun of it, and obviously it's fun to kill bots, but at least for me, in terms of, because, I've been playing a lot of video games, ever since, elementary school. And a joy about it was just hey, I faced another real guy on the other side of the screen, and there was a joy in being oh, I'm better than this guy, when maybe I was just kind of bush camping and maybe I'm not better than that guy. But at the end of the day, I feel like that's been lost in, I feel like it's been lost in gaming a little bit. That's a deeper meaning behind the bots thing, but I feel like there's not the same joy in winning against 100 real players anymore. I miss when that was the case. In Chapter 1, my win rate was probably lower than 0.5%. I was awful in Chapter 1, but that made the win so much better, and it made me want to become a better player as a result. So I just miss that. Obviously on stream, killing bots on the short form, everyone's just oh, this guy's crazy, and it's good for views, but just the integrity part, or what's inside the mind when you're playing games like this, especially a battle royale, it does kind of suck seeing that mindset shift a little bit. How do I say this? When you kill 5 bots in a row and then you fight your first real player, your chances of winning that fight against the first real player drop significantly, in my opinion, 100%. Because you maybe you're locked in off spawn, and then you kill the first guy, and then your guard lowers. You're okay, this is not a real player. And then you see another set of footsteps, and you kill that guy. Oh, okay, now my guard lowers some more. Now you're rotating with god loot off spawn, and you see someone in the open, and you're oh, here we go. Here's my first fight. You shoot him, he turns around, stands still. You eliminate him. Boom. By the time you reach someone crazy, you're not warmed up, and mentally you're not locked in, and then you die. And it's to me, that is the most frustrating part. There are 2 things that are most frustrating to me in gaming. 1, killing bots over and over until you find a real player, and then that real player beats you because you're just not ready for them to actually fight back. And then the second thing is dying when it's not your fault. Say you die to fall damage because ping related, or you lose because you get disconnected, or your mouse stops working or something. Those are the 2 things that make me the most upset. But
I don't know how Fortnite can revitalize that player base to keep them back consistently now that it's been around for so long.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah,
because you can only do so many collabs, right? Like the Squid Game stuff to me is cool. I love seeing the collabs,
Yeah,
but at some point it's like, okay, insert pop culture like trending, topic of conversation into a collab, and then 2 weeks later, player pop leaves.
Yeah.
I had talked about. Oh, my bad.
No,
I had talked
shut up,
about
Retro.
Yeah. Okay.
Get out.
I had talked about it on stream. I think someone was talking to me about it in chat. They were like saying, "Do you think Fortnite will ever die?" I said, "No, but a certain community in the game could die." And obviously we see that some especially in comp too, like numbers go down. Obviously numbers fluctuate, whatever. But especially with the collabs and everything, you lose they lost a good amount of people that love the game for its simplicity.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't please everybody, and at this point Fortnite's pretty set on just we're gonna do collab after collab after collab, which is fun, but especially with their metaverse stuff with festival and everything like that, I get concerned sometimes. I'm like, will battle royale and that community get lost in that a little bit? Obviously I think there'll always be some sort of calm for that, but I could see it shrink pretty quickly if they take care of the other things. Yeah, I could definitely see it not vanish completely, but not be as healthy as they'd like it to be.
Well, see, and here's where I completely agree with you on that, right? So just look at reload. Look at reload count compared to battle royale count. It's a different style of Fortnite. Granted, it's similar. It's more of a Call of Duty Rebirth style of play, but it's it just all they did was just raise the pace of the game. That's all they did. And if they could just do something like that in battle royale, I feel like more people would go back to battle royale versus reload. Because that's like in chapter 2 when the pace of play was really high. That was probably in chapter 2 was probably the all-time high count for battle royale players. Chapter 2 and maybe early chapter 3, but there was never a time where you sat in a queue for over a minute, maybe. And now if you play battle, even arena back then, none of us ever had to wait in a queue just to get into a game because the count was so high. The pace of play was up. The game ran so good because the graphics were so much more simplistic, in my opinion, too.
Yeah.
With them adding the new engine, and I think when did they add that, Mike? Chapter 4, late 3, or it might have been early 3.
I'm not sure. From 3 to 4, I was playing Apex and Call of Duty, so I was gone.
Oh, that's right.
I cheated on Fortnite.
Oh,
nah, dude, I was grinding COD. No, I get what you're saying. I agree with you too. But not okay. Sorry, go ahead and finish your thought because I was about to pull out a whole nother.
Oh no, that was it.
Okay. Do you think though that because Reload has gained the most popularity, do you think Reload should become the comp mode of focus?
I don't think tradition. It should be. I think it is though.
Because, and hear me out, because I think a lot of traditional comp players will hear that and say, absolutely not. What is this guy talking about? BR is the comp mode. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I probably have played more comp than everybody. I've been playing since chapter 1. I've been scrimming since fucking scrims became a thing. Hear me out when I say this. If Reload is the most popular game mode now, why is it that Fortnite does not prioritize it at least with more paid tournaments for that game mode? Because the player base is already split. You've already opened up Fortnite to the world of sandbox, right? We're taking a Roblox approach where we have fashion shows, we have hide and seeks, and BR. So the player base is already split. If most players are playing Reload, why don't we turn Reload into a Cash Cup format tournament that happens weekly?
Yeah, I agree.
To revitalize the comp, make common players and sweaty players feel like they're going to get some earnings, like solo cash cups or solo Vic cups, and then, hope that transitions into BR. I'm not sure.
Well, I completely agree on that. I think there definitely should be more paid reload tournaments because, like you said, the player count on reload is significantly higher. It's not even relatively close. I completely agree with you on that take.
Yeah. What do you think, BJ?
I think this might be a crazy tangent, but like it's just like I like BR as the comp mode just because I feel like it's a lot easier to kind of play that as like a comp system, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so Reload, obviously, we've had tournaments with Reload. I love Reload, but every competitive game, like every competitive tournament I've played with on Reload, I haven't had a great time. To be frank, I
I'm
just
the same way.
it's difficult to make that mode comp in my opinion.
Yeah.
You can. It'd
Yeah.
be great for more opportunity to earn, more opportunity for PR, but
100%.
I just don't feel like it's the healthiest mode for a competitive scene. I feel like there's so many things you could exploit in that mode. Obviously, like Peterbot Alley A type stuff where you're just
Yeah.
shooting someone in the air with a mammoth pistol, or you're just like camping a certain spot, waiting for someone to land, trying to get loot. I just don't feel like that's gonna be the best for a comp culture in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I wish they would do more with BR. I would like to see some more reload tournaments, but for FNCS stuff like that, I just like to see it in BR. I think it's a lot more healthier for the game and that comp scene as well.
100%.
Yeah. So you guys think that maybe adding comp as a supplementary piece to like Reload perhaps would be a good idea, but keeping the main game mode for comps BR.
Yes. And see, something else too that I think would be healthy for Reload is you could run the BR tournament skin cups, but I think Reload would be a really great format just for skin cup tournaments. And you could even throw like Reload victory cups, like, where you make $100 max, or what is it, 300 if you win all 3 games.
Mhm.
But, I mean, nothing crazy. Like, I think that'd be a smart idea to just run victory cups on Reload and skin cups. I mean, because that caters to the player base that's there.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And with the new season of Reload coming out, we have the Squid Games collab, the new Squid Games map. But I wanted to ask you guys a question, because I find when I look online and I see these lists, these top 10s, top 5s, best Fortnite whatevers of all time, they don't align with my expectations. So I brought a list to you guys.
Okay.
Could you guys name me the top 7 best point of interest, best locations of all time in Fortnite according to esports.gg? It's not my list. This is according to esports.gg, but there are 7 of them, and I'm going to give you guys 3 misses. So if you get some mistakes, that's okay.
So
what do you guys think?
We each get 3 misses, or is it just like we're going to work together on this?
Combined. You guys have to work together on this.
Okay. All right, Luke. I think Pleasant Park's on there. 1.
Oh, Pleasant Park.
Okay, Pleasant Park gotta be on there.
Tilted Towers, 100%.
Okay. Hold on. Slow down. I'm an old man.
Yeah,
okay.
let's do one at a time.
Tilted Towers, number 1 on this list. Nice pull, boys. Nice pull. Pleasant Park, number 2. Nice work. Nice work.
Okay.
So you have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
I'm going to throw one out there. I don't know if it's there. I'm going to say Chapter 4 Mega City.
Are you guys locking that in? You guys make sure you lock it in between the two of you.
No. Listen. The peak is 1, 2, and if we're going top 7 of all time, I would have some Chapter 4 POIs there if it was my personal interest, but it's not. So I loved a lot of things in the Chapter 4 map, but I don't think it's going to be in that top 7. I think it's going to be mostly OG things. So maybe, do you think Salty would be there or no?
I think
I like,
yeah.
I like Salty, and it's an OG area, and it's there for like 1, 2.
That's where Daquan lives, bro.
I'm gonna go.
I like Salty Springs. Yeah, I'm
locking in Salty.
Yeah,
chat. They got it at number 4, Salty Springs.
Let's go.
You got 3, 5, 6, and 7 left.
All right, BJ, I'm just going to be honest. I know one that is 100% on there is the agency from Chapter 2. That is 100% on there.
I would go ahead and lock that down too.
We're locking it in?
Yeah.
And that's their first incorrect answer. No agency on this list.
The agency's not there?
agency is not here, according
That's
to esports.gg.
That is kind of crazy.
That blows my mind. Wow.
Strike one.
Okay. Let me think. Let's go back to basics.
And you can look at chat for help on this. You can if you want to. Chat.
Okay.
Don't just pull up the fucking website, okay?
Right.
But I see some people dropping some suggestions in. I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you everybody for being here. I hope you're having a good time. Smeagol, Dasso, Miniman, Vortex, Mako, Haley, Alexander, Miniman, Diener, all you guys, thanks for being in here. I really appreciate y'all. Skibbity, Big Tech. All right.
Oh, yes, sir.
Wait, BJ, do you think Retail Row could be on there?
I was gonna say retail. I feel like that's on the tail end, but I want to say it is, but
I do too, bro. I want to say
I
retail's there.
really don't know at this point. I'm good with retail if you are.
I am. I'm 100% good with retail.
We're locking in Retail Row at number 6. Nice work, boys.
So I knew it. It was on the tail end.
Nice work. We got 3, we got 5, and we have 7. You're on the last 3 POIs for this list.
Okay.
5 and 7. What would go ahead of? Okay.
Do you think Lazy Lake could be there?
I don't like Lazy Lake, but
I don't either, but
I don't think.
I think we saved that one. I think we saved that in the
Well,
It's definitely going for a nostalgia pull right there, for sure.
Let's
Wait,
go through like.
hold on. Is Misty Meadows there, Mike?
I was gonna say like Mike would love that to be on. That would be number 1 for you. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Imagine
if it was based,
I just
if
froze
it was
right
based
there,
off you.
I froze because I don't want to give any visual hints, So I will say though that Misty Meadows is inarguably the best POI of all time. Inarguably the best.
But now, dang it, we shouldn't have brought it
I
up.
want to
'cause
throw
now,
another OG.
okay.
DJ, do you think Shifty Shaps could be there?
Uh,
That was a huge. That was a good. God, Greasy Grove.
I
feel
know
like
we
Shifty
only got
Shaps
3
could be
slots
there.
left, and there's Grove, Shafts. There's what else are we missing?
Loot Lake. Oh
yeah.
God.
Oh my god! And we're not even like in chapter 2 stuff for some of these.
Now, once you get 2 strikes, I will give you guys a hint. So just know that you're at 1 current strike.
Oh, okay.
You have 3 POIs left.
I'm reading chat. Smeargle says Tomato Town.
that's
But
what I'm
I don't know if Tomato Town is up there.
Tomato Town would be there. It's too small.
Yeah, and then then there's Tomato.
Because I feel
Temple,
like
too.
I feel like Salty Springs is going to be the
Oh,
smallest.
wait. Hey. Grant's got a good one. He said Lucky Landing. I think I'm cool with Lucky Landing.
Oh wait, Lucky Landing. Yeah, that one. Oh, are we
You guys locking it in?
Lucky
lock it
Landing is
in.
good, dude.
I'm gonna lock it in.
Chat, I forgot to turn on the chat bot, so you guys are not farming your watch time. I apologize. I'll turn it on right now. But into their locked POI, Lucky Landing, the spot Mr. Booga got his win at World Cup, is not on this list.
That's crazy. Grant, I'm not even gonna be mad at you, bro. Wow.
Yeah, that one's crazy. That's a
Mods,
crazy
ban
one.
whoever suggested that in the chat, please, and thank you. No, I'm just
I'm not
joking.
even gonna. I'm not even gonna blame you for that. That is such a. There's no way that. No way.
I love Lucky Landing. Me and my wife, when my wife first got into Fortnite, we would land Lucky Landing every game there and Haunted Hill. So I love it, but it's not on this list.
Okay, so we got one more strike. And we don't get the hint till after the strike, right?
Yeah, well, that's your second strike, is it not?
Yes. This is the
Yeah,
second
so
one.
you get your hint now. So,
Oh, okay.
Retro, BJ, your hint to help you find the last remaining locations. These locations can be found only in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
Okay.
Only in chapter 1 and 2.
See, but that's
That's right.
like,
Dude,
that's-
what about return seasons, like OG seasons, the remixes?
I would stick to the OG maps, the OG Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 maps. So start to think of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 maps. And if you guys don't feel like that's an adequate one, I can maybe drop one more hint, only if chat says hint in the chat. But this is like Cash Cab. You're asking the people for some help. This is your helpline.
Guys, please give us a hint, or else I'm gonna say Junk Junction and we're all doomed. So please give a hint.
Junk Junction?
I think we've got to keep Shifty Shafts in mind. That is one of the most
okay. Yeah, I'm willing to keep that. I see. I see a couple good ones in chat. I see Risky and Snobby. Risky's a pretty good one just because of the challenge, and everyone loves that challenge. So,
what up, Dyron? Was good. Welcome, Haley. Love you. Just to recap, what you guys have already: number 1, Tilted Towers; number 2, Pleasant Park; number 4, Salty Springs; number 6, Retail Row. And that's it. So you have 3, 5, and 7.
Shifty Shafts. That's my top 2 choices right now.
I would go with Shafts and Risky being in there. Those 2 possibly.
Okay.
What if we just named the last 3?
we're getting a lot of hints in the chat, so I'm going to give you another hint. Shout out to everybody watching that are helping out, BJ and Retro. One of these locations you guys have both talked about for over 15 seconds, and it relates to me.
Okay, so
it's Shifty Shafts.
And it relates to me. That's the big hint. You talked about it for 15 seconds, and it had to do with me and that. And all I've been doing is the survey. So just think about locations.
Well,
that I like.
Mike froze for 15 seconds. So it might be Meadows then. It's probably no. That's not. It's Meadows. Luke, it's Meadows.
It's gotta be Meadows.
It's Misty Meadows. Misty Meadows is number 5 on this list.
Okay.
If you guys fucked that one up, dude, we're ending stream right now.
He said Shaft, and I was like, we're throwing, right?
No. I was just going on the Shaft part.
I caught onto that, but okay.
All right. So Tilted Towers, Pleasant Park. You have number 3 on this list. That is a very famous POI. Number 4, Salty Springs. Number 5, Misty Meadows. Number 6, Retail Row, which you guys have. And then the last one on this list. This last one? Oh, wait. I don't think I'm giving any more hints. Never mind. Yeah, you have 3 and 7.
7's the most dangerous one to mess with. Oh, no.
Okay. I think Shaft.
Oh, my God.
No.
3 and 7. That just hit me. 37. It happens everywhere.
I'm be there.
I'm good with locking that. I don't think there's no way it's not.
No, we got it wrong.
Are you guys locking that one in? Are you sure?
What else? Honestly, my top 2 from here are Shaft and Risky Reels. Those are my top 2 from here.
All right. So we're locking it. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Lock.
I'm locking.
Locked. That location is not on the list.
Hey,
you fail, boys. You fail. I apologize.
Was Risky at least on there or no? Was Risky on there or no?
Risky was not on the list either.
Okay, so we would have been doomed anyway. There's no.
All right. To count down the top POIs of all time.
Silo, you're right. Oh,
according to Fortnite.gg or esports.gg. I apologize. Here we go. At number 7, we have the Shark. One that I did not think would be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. By the way, FSX, thank you for the $10 dono, and Miniman with the channel membership. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. So number 7, we have the Shark, which I didn't think would be on there.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to be there. If the agency wasn't on there, I did not think the Shark was going to be there.
I definitely thought the agency was more popular.
That's crazy.
Number 6, Retail Row. Nice pull by you guys. Number 5, people hate on me for the Misty Meadows love, but according to this random publication online, it's one of the best of all time. Okay. Number 4, the good old-fashioned Salty Springs. Number 3,
Bro,
it is,
no.
Oh my god.
Greasy
Dang, that's
Grove.
number 3 all time. I low-key was not a fan of
I mean, that
Greasy.
is the trifecta from OG. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess, but when I was playing, I always died in Grove. Maybe it's just because I have bad blood with that POI that I didn't pick it.
Number 2, Pleasant Park. And number 1, place that's always near and dear in my heart, Tilted Towers. So nice
Okay.
job. There are some ones on there that I didn't think you guys would get because, like I said at the beginning, I didn't make this list. I don't agree with every POI on there. And the shark pull, for example, to me was a deep bag pull that I don't even understand.
I think the best we could have done was 6.
agency over that.
Yeah, I think the best we could have done was 6.
Yeah,
There's no way we're playing the shark.
yeah.
Well, nice work, guys. Chat, did you guys enjoy that? Was that kind of fun? I think you guys did pretty good.
Yeah, I'm proud.
It was fun. It was fun. It was good.
I'm proud of that run.
Well, where do you guys want to take this? More comp or casual? Because at least when I'm looking at comp, dude, the only thing that I've been thinking about lately is Peter versus Poyo off spawn at the domain.
Oh God.
I don't know if you guys have been
Poyo's
watching
domain?
that. It's been crazy.
Yeah, I don't have much knowledge to that, but I know Luke has a good amount. So
Yeah, let's
we could
just
let
say
him ramble about it.
I think Pete and Poyo playing again next time they get a chance to. I don't think there's any way that Peterbot passes an off spawn player like that up. I just don't see it.
Man, Poyo, Agers, and Acorn, it's a fucking cracked trio.
Yeah.
Like, let's not sleep
You
on
got the best
Agers.
IGL on NA. Yeah.
Agers is crazy. Acorn is crazy. Poyo is obviously insane at fighting.
Yeah.
Does Poyo even need to go back to Peterbot? I don't think so.
That's a spicy take. I don't think he does
That
either.
stirs up
I
the
think he
pot
will.
so crazy, but I really do feel like they don't pass up on playing again. You know,
It's just when you're literally known as the best duo to ever play the game, and you know that it's gonna probably be really similar to that if y'all run it back. And personally, I think Poyo's way better. I think Poyo's increased his skill level in the time frame that him and Peterbot have been apart way more than Peterbot.
Man, best Fortnite duo of all time is crazy.
I mean, bro,
It's crazy.
how many FNCSs in a row along with a global championship?
What?
That's-
So three
that's stout.
FNCSs in a row, right?
Yeah.
Plus the global champ. In the
Yeah.
long and storied history of Fortnite comp, over 28 FNCSs plus tournaments
Yeah.
before that. You're saying these guys in the most recent years are the best duo of all time?
Yes.
Is that not
100%.
recency bias?
It could have recency bias, but you have to look at the total domination they had as a duo. Like, there was one grand finals they won by 200 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Does that speak to their dominance or does that speak to a weaker player pool?
Ooh, that is a topic.
Because
That could be said
Fortnite back
either
in the
way.
day had millions more players competing in online
Yeah.
opens, which was, at the time, unprecedented. Online opens for qualifying to tournaments were brand new at that time. Millions and
Yeah.
millions of people were qualifying to World Cup because they had one more point over the next person.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can generally understand, okay, there are going to be 5 to 10 teams on NA that are going to qual no matter what.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they're the best, or does that mean there's not as much competitive, the competitive skill gap is just so large because not as many people compete anymore? That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, that can be said, but you are more of the old fashioned comp. Like you know your stuff. I don't know as much about the older comp than you do. I just know really well about the recency. So in here, I'm gonna go back to who was it? Aqua and Nyrox that won Duo World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how that style of play was. Just try to, which you can't do it. Obviously, it's impossible. But compare time, like skill to skill gap and time to time. If you look at how dominant Peterbot and Poyo were for those 4 seasons, there's never been another example of that besides like maybe Miro. And
Yeah.
Miro's in my opinion, Miro's still the greatest of all time. I'm just gonna say that.
Coop and Miro, 6 of them.
Yeah, Cooper and Miro were good.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you guys are going to shit on the NA West thing, which is this is going to be a bad take, but, Epic Whale having 6 with Arkham over there. I agree. That's not as impressive as what Peter and Poyo have done, or even what Coop and Miro have done, because West is not as competitive. I agree with that. But, I think the recency bias here is too strong to say Peter and Poyo are the best of all time. When we're talking about 28 FNCSs plus World Cup tourneys and qualifiers and all that, there have been crazy duos in the past. Savage and Benji. In a time and place, you can't take 1970s basketball and say this player is the greatest of all time and compare it to free throw merchant Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But just joking. But
I'm the Thunder fan. Let's just get that out of the way.
But you take it in the snapshot of time. In that era, they were the greatest. Cease and Elevate pretty much invented high ground for being a win condition. So they're insane for sure, but man, Mongrel and Mitro, crazy. Tayson and his duo. Some people say Tayson is the greatest Fortnite player of all time. So, I don't know. I don't think it's so clear cut.
Yeah, I would agree.
BJ, outside of me grifting you for the Thunder's take, what do you think about all this?
I mean, I'm a big new gen when it comes to comp. The only other comp that I watched back then was basically World Cup, and I had no idea what the heck was going on. I just saw Booga go up dance, and I was like, I want to do that one day. And then I got into arena with my 0 points and get absolutely pooped on. But I guess I can just add a question to it. This is probably a very casual question, but I don't know much about old comp. I don't know how the styles really compare to each other, but do you think with the changes in scoring over the years, that could have an effect on how people think about how dominance looked? Because like you said, back then you were saying people made it to World Cup off 1 point, and there's tiebreakers, elims, all that kind of stuff. But nowadays it's you could hit 500 points, comparatively to hitting 60.
Yeah. Even
old solo cash cups, the ones I played in Chapter 4 compared to the ones in Chapter 5, where everything got doubled basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to kind of hear y'all's take on how would that affect, I guess, a legacy talk, because people are going to talk about the gaps between each other, and some people are just going to skip the complete ins and outs of the game.
No, I really love that question because I feel like it frames the conversation appropriately. When I talk about snapshot in time and different eras of Fortnite, it was completely different. Back in the day, there was no Storm Surge. Right. So you talk about teams in one of the most recent NA Eval Cups, Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs were struggling because they were not Storm Surge trading, which is something we can talk about as well. In one of their games. And so Clix had to jump into a box, and he ended up 1v2ing the guy. And I think either Yamzo or Higgs cleaned up the third, and that got them 35 above Storm Surge. So it's Storm Surge is one mechanic that's new to the game that forces players to take action, which is good from the broadcast perspective. But when it comes to, what BJ, you were saying earlier, in pure comp integrity, perhaps, to me, it takes it away, because back in the day, players used to be able to make the best decision for their duo, trio, or squad at that time. I mean, I guess in FNCS squads in Chapter 2, there was Storm Surge and that kind of stuff. But you get what I'm saying. Back in the day, it wasn't there. So they didn't have to make these rash decisions. And then not making those rash decisions ended up showing the skill gap between the best IGLs and the best fraggers. And that 1 point meant way more than maybe 50, 60, 80 points now, because of the new mechanics, in my opinion. So you can never have a great comparison, but I think the point system does have a strong and heavy weight on this conversation. Maybe I'm just nostalgic, but I liked it when the players they weren't forced to be put into situations where they had to appease an in-game mechanic like Storm Surge, and they could just make the best decisions for their team at that time.
Yeah. It definitely was a lot more enjoyable, because I remember like you said, watching World Cup duos when Surge wasn't a thing. that was a lot more fun. I will say that. But see, if you take away that mechanic now, there's going to be 80 people in the last zone healing off.
And the servers will be terrible.
But yeah, 100%.
That's why it was added, because the servers could not handle 80 people in moving zones all building. So,
yep. But I mean, and that also takes away, like, you know, remember that one, I think this was played another huge role. You remember that guy back in chapter 1 who won a tournament just by sitting in a pool full of fish?
Oh. No, are you talking about chapter 2 in Slurpy Swamp?
It may have been, yeah. I think it was chapter 2,
the
actually.
one I remember.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, just think of how often that would occur if Storm Surge would never been a thing.
Chapter 2.
Yeah, it was chapter 2, Slurpy Swamp. You're right.
That guy actually made a comeback recently.
Really?
Yeah, and he did it again in chapter 5 or 6, I think.
I feel like this is his best time to shine, especially with the medkit and how it works now and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll find it. I was gonna screen share it, but yeah, that was kind of a crazy strat. I'm pretty sure he got banned for that. So
he did.
Yeah, and then he made a new account, and then he's sky based most recently to win an FNCS game, and then I think he got banned again. For avoiding bans. Man, when it comes to being a streamer and a content creator, guys, how do you guys deal with banning people in chat?
Peace out.
That's a good question. I've had this conversation with you, Mike, off stream. We have very different approaches to it. I'm a very of course, like, if they're just going out there and saying the worst stuff possible, it's instantly get out. But it's like, sometimes I give benefit of the doubt to the viewer, just like, because at least for me, you know, growing in terms of live streaming, always being on Twitch, sometimes your first impression rubs the person the wrong way. If you've watched my streams recently, I rage a decent amount, or not like rage, like break anything, but like there's negativity. Or it's just like, like, bro, I missed this shot, blah, blah, blah. And then a viewer will come in and be like, oh, you're so bad. And I'm just like, you right. And then I tell them, like, okay, like, next game I'll lock in, it'll be better. But yeah, I just like to keep viewers like that, see how it goes. And then obviously if it's just hating without a reason, then yeah, you can get out of here. But sometimes I just feel like, you know, I gave a bad first impression. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try to win you over. If you don't like me, you don't like me. That's just the internet. So
I think I'm more of a mixture between the two of y'all. Like, with how I handle stuff, because like BJ he's very like he's a lot more compassionate than what I would say myself towards viewers, because like, in my opinion, if you're causing disruption, you have 2 strikes. I don't even do a 3-strike system. If you disrupt what's going on twice, you're gone. Yeah. Or like BJ says, if it's just an over-the-top hate thing, like, because I don't want somebody to come into my chat and dog on one of my loyal viewers. Like, if you're a loyal viewer of mine, I'm going to protect you with all I can.
Yeah. Don't get me started on the you can hate me. Everyone can hate me.
Facts. I don't say you can hate me, just don't hate my viewers. Like, come on now, that's like my friends.
Like, as long as I'm good with my family, you know, and God, I'm cool. Everyone can hate me. But if you come in and talk shit to Alexander or Haley or Gameplay or some of our viewers that are diehards in our community that always bring positive energy, always bring helpfulness and helping out other people, nah, get out, buddy. I'll play sound effects. I'll play text on screen. Oh, do my RGB strobe lights. Oh, fuck. We'll make a whole celebration out of it. No,
like, bro, I think I just want to interrupt real quick. Just if Gilly's in stream one day and somebody comes into any of our streams and says something negative to Gilly, they might actually have a heat-seeking missile headed towards their house.
No, you can't do it. No, for me, I think I'm way harsher than probably both of you guys. If they come 100%. In and I feel like they don't fit the community's vibe, the atmosphere, if you guys are not following the rules, my rules are very simple. Don't be an asshole. Right? Like, treat everybody with respect. You can have differing opinions. You can even say, like BJ said, You can say, hey, Mike, you suck. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'm a 28-year-old dad. All right, I'm trying. All right. Hey, give me a break. But like, if they come in straight off with the crazy stuff, insta ban. Don't even care.
Yeah.
Make a new account if you feel bad about it. Come back in. But if they're walking the line, then it's kind of, honestly, people don't want to hear this, but it's just kind of depends on my mood that day. Like, we're you got to remember, we might look like Netflix on your screen, but we're humans too. And if you come in
100%.
and I get people saying like after every game, like, oh, you're just bad. Oh, your aim sucks. Oh, like your game sense is terrible. It's like, bro, you're only withdrawing from my emotional bank account. Can you just deposit something? Maybe say, hey, I like the stream. Say, hey, BJ, you have nice hair today. Say something nice,
And see, something else too that I want to add on to that, Mike, is when they do stuff like that, why are they still watching? Like, if that's all you're there to do, like, just leave. Go to somebody else's stream,
Yeah, I know, especially because we are literal scroll content, chat. We're vertical. Like, leaving like multiple hate messages like wows me because it's like literally just all you got to do. You don't even have to go up on your mouse and go up to the top right and hit the X button. All it is just your phone can fall on your face and you're 3 streams down.
Or this. Bam. And you're at a different one.
Nobody will
insane.
even know. No one will know that you left. Hell, I'll say nobody gives a fuck that you left. But just leave, that's the online anonymity thing that I think is new to like the younger generation and new to people making content like us. It's at least for me on YouTube, it's rather new. But people, since they're so far removed from their in real life person, they can act however they want online, which is cool. But they start to understand that social norms that happen in day-to-day in real life don't apply to your online life. Yeah. And so they start to get crazy. Yeah. And I mean, hey, I'll take this on the chin. I'm a troll too. I like to mess around. I like to have fun. I'll go in and talk some shit in a nice and fun way. Obviously, I never cross the line, but like people should just understand where the line is. Okay. I might compliment BJ's hair, but I'm not going to come after him for anything crazy. You know what I mean? I think you like. Do you like the hair compliments, or am I just being a weirdo?
Oh yeah, no, I'm never buzzing my hair just because of you.
And something else too, like obviously y'all two are way bigger than me, but just building a community when you're in the process, because y'all have built y'all's communities, which it's always you're always building on it. You're always going to, but y'all have a certified set community. I would say I've probably got 5 to 10 people that I can really count on being in my stream. And that's just a guarantee, and they're loyal viewers throughout. Probably, I would say my 3 or 4 best viewers, which obviously I'm not going to name, but they're viewers of y'all too.
Name
like, and
I'm just joking.
Oh, you're a streamer. Name 5 chatters right now. Come on.
Wait, is that a book? 10 books reference?
But no, like it's just like for someone as small as me, like it's just. When I see somebody come in and try to be negative, it just completely throws off like my whole mood for a stream. Like, well, I say that I don't show it, but it's like mentally you're just sitting there thinking about that. So like, why would you want to do that to somebody? Like, because BJ especially, like you're a heavy mood dependent streamer. When you're in a good mood, you are streaming, you are vibing, you're playing good, you're just doing everything right. But I would say I'm the same way when we're both negative. Like, it's hard to recoup off of like coming off of something negative, like, which I feel like Mike's not as strong on that as what me and you are. I feel like me and you, like, it takes us a little bit longer to get over something negative than what it does Mike. And I think that's just because we're younger.
It's I mean, it's always been something that, it bugs me about myself. It's just like, if it was all like, I love to go on stream, smile end to end, be chatty, play my game, have fun with that. But that's just not the nature of it all the time. Sometimes like chat, I'll announce on Discord, hey, I'm going live right now, but then sometimes you just hit a wall in your energy, or you've had a long day and you're like, I'm just gonna relax on stream, and then that one comment kind of irks you. It's just it's something that I've always wanted to get better at, is like, because most of it is just noise. Most of the hate comments is like, it's whatever, but sometimes it is rough to just go like, be out there and be like 100% energy all the time. I wish I could do it. It's something I'm working on, but in a realistic sense, it's not always possible. But it's something that I'll try to get better at. That's probably like in my opinion, that's like my biggest weakness in terms of the live streaming sense. Sometimes I have a hard time just like being set in certain scenarios.
But I like the way you do it,
Mike.
There you go. I like the way you do it. I don't think that you should be happy and excited and Allier, Cypher, PK, intro all the time,
No, never that extreme. Never that extreme.
I went live at 1 a.m., I think July 3rd. No, so it was July 4th, but it was 1 a.m. after the fireworks show. And Alexander pops into my chat. Shout out to you, Alexander. And he goes, Mike, why do you have so much energy? And it's like, dude, because I just had the most fulfilled day ever. I spent like 5-6 hours straight with my family, watching my son be amazed by the fireworks. Yeah. We walked a bunch, walked around a park. There's food trucks, vendors, music, like over 1,000 people at this park. It was great, So like I'm in there. Plus, hey, I have bipolar too, so maybe you'll see the Charlie Sheen side of me from time to time, where I just get a little bit crazy. Okay, it's just who I am. And then the other side of the coin is that I might seem way more depressed, but I think it's sharing that, like you mentioned, BJ, that genuine, authentic expression of who you are is what makes people connect with you. And if you're not that, I mean, the three of us will promise you right now, you can't keep it up. You cannot keep up being a fake persona online. For at least in my experience, for streaming for 8 years, over 3,000 hours, you can't be a fake person for that long without it breaking through. It's just not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
by the way, I wanted to show you this, BJ.
Okay. Oh, let's go. Oh my god.
Yes.
We got a little jeepney right here. Yo, what are you doing? WID. My parents aren't home. Type shit.
Oh god.
Hey, may I pause the podcast for a second and ask Chad a question?
Of course. And as you do that, let me return to the retirement home bathroom. I will be right back.
Sounds like a plan. Chad, what are y'all thinking about the podcast? That's what I want to know. I want to hear y'all's feedback on it.
Yeah, this is my first time doing a podcast. I always wanted to do one, but I never really, figured out how that would work. So,
well, see, it's just like I obviously don't have the viewer count to do a podcast, but I think like what we're doing, like with Mike hosting the first few and then moving it to its own channel, I think that's a great idea.
Any plans for guests? I think we've talked about it here and there. Obviously, we kind of just need to solidify our dynamic first before we put a guest to like stir the pot or whatever. But I mean, we'll probably bring guests in here and there. I think the more people that are talking, the better it is. So,
well, I mean, and something else too. All three of us are yappers, so conversation would never be at a low. So, guests, I feel like would thrive on a podcast like this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Smirgle says, "How are you?" Hey, I'm doing good, Chad. I see a couple of y'all are saying hi to me, but I didn't want to take time out of the convo. So yeah. I'm glad that you guys are here. No, I mean, back to the content thing though, especially with Mike being back, it's crazy to me how many people come by to watch us individually or as a group, mutual communities. It's crazy. No, because I've told people this myself. I cannot sit here on a live stream and chat a lot of times. You guys do it and you support us consistently. And it's awesome, man. I applaud y'all for that. And this isn't like a PR stunt. I'm not trying to like win you guys over or anything. This is just my the raw emotion. Growing into like content creation, it was impossible to have 3 concurrent viewers on Twitch to get affiliated first. Yeah. Just to see what it is now with other creators with us three being together, with ourselves, just doing whatever we do, it's crazy. And I'm crazy grateful for it. So appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, touching the heart, man.
Oh wait, Mike, the microphone, I think. There we go.
There he is.
Well, let's
Hey,
cut that out.
not everything's for you guys, okay? Sometimes sometimes it's just for me.
No, maybe you were practicing. My bad. I'm
Sometimes
sorry.
it's just for me. Dude. No, I'm just joking.
Wait, hold on. This is what we're going to see Mike do in a second. Like, look at this. Look at this.
When you talk about crashing out, sometimes I'm just messing around, right? And like I'll die in a game or lose a match, and then I'll mute and be like,
I've done that so many times. You have no idea. I even turned off my camera one time. I was having the worst reload. I was having the worst reload day possible. I turned off my camera. I muted my mic. I stood up, literally just like, oh my god, it was so bad. And I came back.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying I came back. I turned on my camera. I was like, "Hi guys, let's go again." Like,
if I get another grab a camera for Lamar Jackson, like
There was one time, and I think it was on the same reload ground you're talking about, BJ. I didn't even go. I hit the little and slammed the camera down. And I was right there, and I had to stop myself.
Like most of the time, I'm messing around. Someone banned Luke for saying grab the camera. No, I'm joking.
Wait, all three of us?
What's it called? Like, so yeah, sometimes I'm just messing around, but sometimes like I'll mute my mic and be fucking mad, and I'll literally be talking shit. I'll be like, man, this is fucking bullshit. I know this guy's stream sniping, this motherfucker. He's in every game. He's in my DMs. He's clipping me on TikTok. Fuck this guy. And then I'll unmute and be like, all right, let's go again. But for me, a lot of times people don't see me rage because I have one rule when it comes to streaming, and I highly suggest all of you guys in the chat that are new content creators make this rule too. If you start to get tilted or rage and you're not having fun, end the stream.
Yeah.
End it. Stop playing. Because I promise you, 99% of your chat, and this is made up reboot round stats, 99% of your chat does not want to watch you rage. Nobody does. If they're having a good day and they pop in and they see you having a bad day, there's two reactions. One, scroll, move on. Two, they're just going to like lower their mood. They're going to be upset. They're not going to want to watch. So like, just, I don't know. That's my rule of thumb. People would be like, hey, Mike, why didn't you stream for 6 days? Because I was spending time with family and I was having a good time and I didn't want to go live because either I was not there, I didn't have it in my emotional bank account, whatever. But like, you just have to filter that stuff out. Now, sometimes people want to watch you rage, but my argument to that would be, do you want those people in your chat? Do you want the grifters in there? Do you want the trolls that are going to be writing stuff in your chat to incite the next PC like rage or retro raid? No, probably not, right? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, just adding on to it for a bit of advice. When you're in a bad mood and you're raging and stuff like that, that's when you're the most vulnerable to like people coming in and just saying whatever they need to say, or not even need to say. They don't need to say it, but they say stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, as soon as your mood gets down and you keep trying to play through it, some people can do it. And if you can do that and you're very good at managing that, feel free to keep going live. You can handle all that kind of stuff. You build your community the way you want to. But for most people, at least from my experience, as soon as it gets bad, it's a snowball effect. So again, everyone streams differently. Everyone has different approaches to how they want people to watch them. Just keep that in mind with stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me, I lean heavily on the people that have like credibility or reputation or standing in my chat, right? So like if I'm playing and I'm playing bad and I have 5 people talking shit to me, but I have Techno, Alexander, Gilly, Steen, you name it, we all have those people in our communities that are on our, like, have our back. If they're saying nice things I can look at that and filter out the negative. At the end of the day, when you're somebody that's in our communities, or at least I'll just speak for myself, if you're in my community regularly, I know who you are. I remember stuff about you. Like people kind of made fun of me for this little book I have. I keep a book next to my desk and I write shit down about you guys and I remember it. You have a football game coming up on the 7th. Cool. Like I wrote it down. I want to know how it went so I can ask you about it. Like stuff like that. I remember things about the people in my community. But if you're just brand new and you're just grifting, you're just trolling me, it's so easy to filter you out as you're just text on a screen. It's cool. Maybe it's because I'm old, but like hey man, if you ain't on my side, you're against me if you're doing that kind of stuff. So I just wipe the slate clean and 2 clicks will ban you.
Oh yeah. No,
how do you guys feel about that? About banning? Like would you rather have people in your chat grifting for viewer count, or would you rather just ban them and get them out?
I'd rather ban them and get them out.
I would be on this side of banning. Obviously if you like have been in my chat a lot, you know me, I know you can do stuff like that. I mean, I think that's fair play just because it's like, like it's poking a little fun. Maybe you're trying to stir the pot. You're like, oh, this will make him play better. But like, if you're a new person and you're just talking crazy and like, I give you another chance and you do it again, that's a ban. I don't think there's any debate on that, at least for me. I think out of us three, I just take the longest to get to that point.
Yeah, you do. And then I would say I'm in between you and Mike.
Yeah. I just don't. Man, this is gonna sound real bad. I just don't. I don't care. Like if someone's saying I'm doing good or bad, like good, obviously I'm thankful. If you're saying I'm bad, I genuinely doesn't bother me. I'm not Peterbon. I'm not Poyo. I'm not pursuing comp for earnings. I'm playing a video game for fun. 99% of the people do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like whether it's motivation or not, like that's cool. My rule of thumb is like, would you say this to me in real life? Like if you're crossing the line where you're saying something that you wouldn't say to me in real life, you're probably overstepping your boundary at some point.
Yeah.
That's where you start to get on my radar.
But that just ties into what you talked about earlier, where it's just like people don't have the same moral compass or like same standards for themselves online, so that's just a barrier that I feel like a lot of people kind of struggle with in that regard. But I digress. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Half the time.
Yeah, these motherfuckers. I mean, lovely trolls. These lovely trolls. I actually wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, see, what I was going to say is whenever you come into somebody's stream like that, especially if you're a first-time viewer, like that's setting your own standards low, man. Like, if you're a first-time viewer and you come into somebody's stream with just straight negativity, like, why? You're just literally lowering your own personal standard.
Yeah. It's like the conversation I had with my wife and one of my best friends while we were playing trios. I was like, don't be the guy who stinks. Like, everybody knows that guy or girl in real life that just stinks most of the time. You get that stench of BO from them, and then it registers in your head. They've left an impression on you to know, like, hey, let's not share the same car ride as them because they're probably going to stink. Or I'm not sitting next to them at the table. Maybe I'm going to sit across the table or a couple seats away because they stink. I am definitely not sharing my popcorn bucket with them to watch the new movie because they stink. Don't be the guy who stinks. And when you go into chats and you start to build a reputation, especially if you hang out in my stream and you hang out in Retro stream and you hang out in BJ stream, lots of us share the same viewers. And if you come in just like overstepping your boundaries with self-promo, disrespect, trolling, overall rudeness, you're becoming the guy who stinks. Everyone starts to think that's the guy that, is kind of an asshole. That's the guy that, when he enters chat, it doesn't improve by 1%. It decreases by 1% because now BJ or Retro's upset with him or Mike's upset with him. And now the mods are warning him and blah, blah, blah. And, you're taking away from the atmosphere. Think about like my environment when I stream that I try to set up is God, I'm old. But like back in the day, you would sit on the same couch looking at the same TV with your friends with one controller, you know? And we're all playing, we're all having the shared experience gaming, but you guys are watching me play because I have the controller, you know? So like, don't be the guy on the couch that stinks. Don't be the guy that you don't want to play with or be around, you know? Be generally good.
Well, see, and I'm gonna add on to that. Like, with me being raised in the South, you know, Southern people, you know, it's all about respect this, respect that. So, I'm the very typical Southern person. Like, I was raised big on respect. So, when you come in and do something like that, it's just like a automatic, like, you're disrespecting me, so I don't like you anymore, type thing. And like this, I'll be honest, like, out of the things you listed, self promo in somebody else's stream just got to be my absolute most hated thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's just such a crappy thing to do. Like, that's not building your own sense of community, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's only okay when I go into BJ's chat and do it. That's really...
Oh yeah, he comes in every day. Chat says use code GoLiveMike, and he spams it. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. No, I'm kidding.
Hashtag ad.
No,
he don't even put the hashtag ad. He just saying it.
Dude, our first
kidding.
guest just rage quit the podcast. She just jumped out of your bed and walked down the stairs.
Mida.
No.
He can't be doing that.
What was it? Mako was his name. He was talking about guests before I left. Our first guest just left, dude. It's not looking good for us.
Yeah, we're over 1.
Wait, is that the new guest desk? We fly them out and they just sit on the cat bed.
So I kind of had another way to take this. We can talk more about streaming stuff because I love talking about streaming stuff. Or we can talk about more about Fortnite stuff. But the topic I had was more so around streaming and raiding culture and my thought process around that. But we can take it whichever direction you guys want. What do you think?
No,
I'm fine with whatever you want to do.
I love talking about content.
I'm about to say, I mean, we ain't got nothing but time, and it keeps getting longer and longer every day now.
Yeah, chat. Listen, these are going to be 5-hour podcasts, so be ready, okay? No, I'm just joking. What's it called? But you know, I've had a few people talk to me recently, both in VC and in DMs, about rating and my thought process for rating. And mostly what comes up is like, Mike, why don't you raid bigger content creators? Like people ask me, because I share a community with like you guys, I share a community with like Uncle Drew, with Gamer Mom, with Choi. There are viewers that are in all of our communities. And obviously those people that I named are much larger than us, right? So not saying we're at the same level in any sense, but people have asked me like, why don't you raid like Choi or Gamer Mom? And it's nothing against them. It's just, it takes me back to when I first started streaming like 8 years ago. I was on Twitch. I saw Ninja play. And I thought, wow, this looks fun. I spent 50 of my $60 in my bank account to get a PS4 camera. I plugged it in, streamed right off my console. For the first month, I had 0 viewers. And then out of nowhere, as I was rotating out of Tilted Towers, a guy named King Rowdy raided me. And he raided me with an amazing and a crazy amount of viewers, 8 people. And that was the first time I had anybody in my stream. And out of those 8 people, 5 of them stayed. And those 5 people went on to have like 600 watch hours or more on Twitch. Some of them have almost 800 watch hours on Twitch. And so when it comes to me and my philosophy for rating, like I want to help smaller content creators grow. You know, I don't want to, like, of course, you know, I would have nothing against rating Gamer Mom, Choi, all those people. I don't think I've ever rated Choi because he doesn't stream at the same time as me. But like I've rated Gamer Mom and Uncle Drew many times. I've rated you guys both plenty of times. Like I just want to raid small people because I remember that day I got raided and it meant a lot to me. You know, like what's your guys' thought process through raids? What are you looking for when you raid and et cetera, et cetera?
I think that's on you, BJ.
I would go first, but I have to see someone down there real quick. So
You're
I'll
good.
let you go ahead, Luke.
Well, you know, considering me being smaller and not having the option to raid, you know, I have to type the @ in chat and all this and that. The people that I raid are mainly just either you or BJ, which I think the only person I've ever rated is I think you, Mike, and that's just because like your stream's finished or my stream by the time my stream finishes, yours is starting, and most of the time if I send you people over, they're already people that watches your chat. It's just for me that the reason I do that is because granted they're already going to go to your stream, but it's just I want you to see that I'm putting in effort to try to help you out because you've helped me out so much.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah,
But see, and you don't make it feel like I have to do that. That's just something that I do. Like you've never none of us have ever asked each other for a raid. That's for one disrespectful, and two, that's not building your own community. But when we do it, it's just out of the kindness of our hearts, so to speak. Like we're trying to help your channel get on this set of algorithm. We're not just doing it so hey, here's all these subscribers, have fun. That's I don't feel like any of us see raiding as that.
No, and I always tell my chat when I raid, I said, hey, we're going to go raid, like InHawk Retro, okay? You don't have to like, sub, dono, buy a channel membership, or shout them out on your channel. All I ask is that you join in on this raid and you write one message in chat. That's all you have to do. Even if it's not a sentence, write an emoji, drop your favorite emoji and then peace out if you want to. I tell a lot of people, like, don't raid me if you don't want to, like I'm not asking for anything. Don't raid me. Raid me because you like the community. Raid me because you feel like you can trust me with your community. Raid me for, an event or something like that. But like most times, dude, it's all good,
Yeah.
What do you think
the same
about,
way I feel.
what do you think about BJ when you raid people?
I haven't really like your approach with rating smaller people. I don't know. I feel like at least in my experience, I've been rated by a couple of people where it's like, they have big communities. They come in, I do my thing, try to impress as much for a little bit, but not go out of my way to act different or anything like that. Sometimes it is rough because I'm not saying this for everybody, but at least when I get rated by a bigger content creator, sometimes I don't like live too high in it. I just kind of like still do my own thing because what y'all have to realize a lot of time, especially in the rating culture, is just this isn't 100% the case. Like someone can have a great community and like their community stays with you, but most raids, that's not where most of your growth's gonna come from. You can't rely on raids, obviously.
No.
You gotta be yourself. You gotta have your own strengths. You gotta attract your own viewers. Raids are always welcome. I love raiding. I use it as a way to also connect with other streamers. Be like, I do the same thing as you, or like, oh, I hope.
See, and if I can pause you there for a second, BJ, I met you through a mic raid. If you remember.
Yeah. No.
I literally met you through a mic raid.
He did. That's the lore behind me and Luke. But no, I mean, I don't think of raiding as negative. But I don't raid smaller creators as much as you guys do. When I do, I of course try to give like a good rep. I'm just like, oh, this guy makes great content. You guys gotta like, you don't gotta like stare or anything, but like show some love and stuff like that. But I feel like it is rough for a lot of smaller creators that get rated a lot. Sometimes they get stuck in that expectation where it's like, oh, I'm going to get rated today and I know it's going to happen. And then sometimes it just doesn't happen because it's not something that you can rely on. And I don't know. That's something big with me. I could have just gone off a tangent and completely answered it like completely differently, but that's just advice I have for other people, especially smaller creators is, raids are cool. Trust me, when you hit that raid button, you do get a bit of adrenaline. You're just like, oh, I can't wait to send my community over there. It's gonna be so much fun. But just don't rely on it too much. It's a fun thing, but don't put that in your list of strengths or weaknesses. It's an extracurricular thing. It's a lot of fun to do, in my opinion.
And I would like to add something real quick. With me being the smaller of our three channels, I would feel like between the three of us, like if one of us were to raid, if we were all three streaming and, two of the people decided to raid, I feel like I would be the most susceptible to a raid because y'all help me out a lot more than what y'all think y'all do. And like the viewers that I've got, like I've been rated by Choi a good bit recently. Choi's pretty big. And it's not necessarily because like, you know, Troy just thinks I'm the greatest guy or whatever. It's the impact that I've made on the people that come from his stream and watch mine. It's like, hey, look at this guy. He's a small YouTuber. He's trying to grow. Rate him. See what it like, you know. And then I had a few of his viewers come in there, and they were just like the nicest people I've ever met. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, for me being small, and being susceptible to raids, rating isn't to me as somebody just throwing subscribers at my face. Like, that's not what I see it as. I see it as my chance to make an impression on new people.
Yeah. No, man, shout out to those guys, by the way. All those guys that we know that are like larger than us, they're growing, they're grinding. Gamer Mom, Uncle Drew, Choi, all those people, like W content creators. If you haven't checked them out, man, seriously, all bring their own style and flavor to their content, as well as a quick plug. If you don't already know, Mr. BJ Plays PC streams on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you check him out at BJ Plays PC on both platforms, as well as Mr. Retro at InHawk Retro. That's INHOCRETRO on Mr. YouTube. Okay, so please go check them out. They both stream. Me, the channel you're watching this now, please unsubscribe. I understand. But no, man. Like, I remember. I'll never forget Mike D. And this is what I'm talking about when you have like rep in my community. Like, Mike D came into my chat and he's like, hey, you got to check out this smaller content creator. And I'm like, I'm ending my stream. I have about 160, 130 viewers, give or take, fluctuating. And Mike D's like, no, for real. Like, you got to check him out. And I go, hey, usually I don't raid people that I don't know. Like, I need to at least hop in their stream once and get a vibe for them, because the worst thing to do is raid someone you absolutely have never seen before, and the first thing they do is break YouTube TOS by like dropping a slur or something. And it's like, you know, hey, GoLiveMike, stamp of approval, go check him out. And then they're like, damn, this is what Mike is about. This is crazy. So Mike D says, hey, check out this smaller content creator. Her name is Gamer Mom. Wannabe Gamer Mom. Go check her out. She has 5,000 subs right now. You should go raid her. And I think I had like 8 or 10 or something at the time. And I'm like, hey, Mike D, he's got some rep in my channel. Like, I trust Mike D. We go raid. Gamer Mom's fucking awesome. I love her to death. We go raid her. And then next thing you know, she's knocking on the door of 1 million at this point. And I'm like, dude, like, literally. I always talk about the importance of getting to know people and building not necessarily like a content team or like a content house, as Agent said in Streamer University, if people follow that, but like just getting to know content creators in and around your space and building relationships with them. Because that's how I met you, BJ. Like, when I first made the switch to YouTube, I was looking for people that were in the same like game as me and kind of had a similar vibe, that were just as handsome or almost as funny. And, you know, I found you. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I found you and I started building a relationship with you. I think you had 1 or 2K subs. And then Uncle Drew, he had 2 or 3K subs when I met him. And, you know, now look at Uncle Drew. He has 50K. Like, BJ, you've grown like 15 times as big as you were when I met you. You know, like, it's really important to find people that you can talk shop with in the streaming world or even in the gaming world, because if you're doing it by yourself, even if you have a bunch of people in chat, sometimes it can kind of feel lonely. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. I think I'll go off on a tangent here, especially since we've been talking about numbers a lot, you know, with all the sub counts and everything. I think this is important to kind of drill into a content creator's head. At least this is just like my experience. Obviously, I met a lot of the people that Mike was talking about. We were all, you know, relatively small. We were all grinding. We were all doing our way, our approach. We're all at different numbers right now. I think sometimes when you look at the numbers, you get lost in it, right?
Yeah.
You lose track of how you got there. You lose track of like because when I started YouTube, obviously, you know, numbers are cool. I always wanted to be able to say I had 15K and stuff like that. But some creators, and it did apply to me, I lost track of what, you know, I was really doing. You know, at a certain point, it was just like, I need to get to 16K. I need to get there, you know, and then if it didn't happen for a certain day, I would look at it as a failure. It's never a failure. You shouldn't look at it like that. Every day is a new opportunity for stuff to grow on YouTube, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just rough because so I know for a lot of creators they'll compare themselves to other creators. You know, we're all in the Fortnite niche, but we all have such different approaches to it. You really can't go in and be like, I mean, I'm doing the same thing as this guy. Why is it not working? Or like, I do it to a better extent than this guy. Why is this not working? Obviously, I'm a Thunder fan, so I'm just gonna quote like a Thunder quote from J-Dub, Jalen Williams. I don't have the exact wording, but he said something that really resonated with me. He was saying like, it's important to eat the food on your plate without looking at the food of other people, right? Because sometimes in that analogy, you look at other people, what they have, you're like, damn, I want that. I want that so badly. But you have food right in front of you. You know, you got to focus on you. So that's something that's important, especially with building connections and getting to know other people. Don't get lost into a sub battle or anything like that. Just be you, and everything will follow from there.
Man,
Facts.
I can stamp that shit, chat. That was beautiful, dude. I totally agree. A lot of
Go ahead and
times,
copyright that statement.
dude. That's honestly, I'm actually kind of blown away. But I mean, I never heard the quote, so I mean, that's pretty heavy.
The quote hit me hard. I was like, damn, you know, like that's a crazy analogy. You know, you look at what other people got. Hearing in the food sense, obviously, I love food, so it affected me even more. I was like, oh damn, he's got so much more on his plate. You know, he's got all this different food. No, man, focus on what's in front of you, and you don't want to look away and someone steals the food off your plate. Just be you.
Yeah, Big Back Mike comes into the chat, just starts self-promoting. I'll start taking everything, dude. No. Oh man. I do have a personal call I need to take real quick, so I do apologize. I'll be gone for like a minute or two.
All good, brother.
I'll BRB.
All right. Since
Well,
we have
BJ, I got a
bit of
question
time.
for you, actually.
Okay.
What got you into streaming, brother?
Oh, okay. So, fun fact, chat. I was never supposed to be a streamer. The streaming was not interesting to me at all, which is kind of crazy to say since I go live literally every day at this point. But it was never about streaming for me at the beginning. I was a big video editor kind of person who loved putting sound effects on their videos and recording content with friends and stuff like that. Never did I ever think I would go live and just talk to a live audience. I struggled with it pretty badly.
I did too.
I'm not the most outgoing person in person. So it was just like, it was always so nerve-wracking. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to go live and then just like talk to people I don't know because you know I can't even do that in real life. But what drew me into streaming was actually, you know, Daquan and them. They would post their stream highlights. Yeah, they would post their stream highlights. I was like, dang, that's really convenient. You know, they're knocking out like two birds with one stone. You know, you go live, you take the footage from when you're live, you edit said footage, and then that feeds back into your own content. I fell in love with that idea. And then obviously as time went on, I got better at talking with people in chat, understanding the ins and outs of streaming and all that kind of stuff. I'm by no means an expert or anything, but that's my journey with it. And again, I never thought like ever when I uploaded my first YouTube Fortnite video of me being completely butt at the game. I never thought, you know, I'd be streaming every day and having a blast with that. I never thought that would happen.
Facts, bro. Mike, I kind of stole a question out of your book. What made you start streaming? I think you'd be the next best to answer it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I was in college playing college basketball. Shout out D2. Any hoopers out there, I'll run the ones with you. I really will. I can't dunk anymore. I did have a 36-inch vert that was documented at 6'4", so
God.
you know what I'm saying? But
holy shit.
yeah, I have more like a credit card vert now. But Um, yeah, so I was playing, and Fortnite became like the big thing, right? And I wanted to get better. I used to be a COD player, not like by any means one of the best, but I would do like what are those called? Like tokens essentially for COD. I can't game battles is what they were called back in the day. Yeah. Game battles. And so I wanted to get into it, and I looked up on YouTube like how to get good at Fortnite. And if you're thinking about content ideas, quick tangent, the questions you have in your mind are the things that people are writing into YouTube like a search engine, like they would search Google. So think about content titles like that. But so I looked up how to get good at Fortnite, and it pulled up what BJ, I caught the tail end of that, where you were saying streamers put their streamer highlights on there and their best games. I found a Ninja game. It was just a rip from his stream, and he was going crazy. And I was like, dude, I've never thought about playing the game that way, let alone being in front of an audience playing the game that way. Truly, in real life, I'm pretty introverted. Like, this isn't a facade. Like, when I'm in a comfortable space, I'm very extroverted, but most of the time I don't talk much. I hang out with the people I hang out with. I'm very homebodied, but I saw him just having a blast, and I was like, dude, I got to try this. So I'm in college. I'm broke as a joke, and I go drive down the street from my apartment that I shared with 3 teammates, and I spend almost all of my money on this PS4 camera, tiny little shitty camera. I plug it right into my PS4, and in the console, you could go live to Twitch. And I just did. I went live. And I used my really terrible $20 gaming headset mic, and I streamed for a month, man. Nobody watched at all. I streamed like 5-6 days a week. And it was fine because I used to look up to people like Casey Neistat, if people know who that is, like making vlogs on YouTube. Yeah. And it was not so much the fact that they were having millions of subscribers and viewers. It was the fact that it was a moment in time captured forever online that you would be able to carry with you as a memory and not have it fade away slowly into the back of your mind as you get older, because it's there and you can vividly relive that. So that's what I was kind of doing. I was just kind of documenting my life like a vlog, but in a video game. That was my approach to it. And man, did it, like, I had 0 viewers, but anytime that number would go from 0 to 1, I'd be like, oh my God, I have a new friend. And they would pop in. I'd be like, yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Oh my, I'm playing Fortnite right now. Do you like Fortnite? And then it would go 1 to 0 and they would leave because I would probably overwhelm them. And that's just kind of how I started. And it was just, it's crazy how you think that you're just doing something as a hobby. And I mean, it's still a hobby now, but I pretty much do this as like a full-time job, man. Like I have my own full-time job, but I put so much time and effort and heart and soul into this. And it all started because of one YouTube video. So I would just say, if you guys ever have content creation aspirations, like, don't shoot them down quick, whether even if it's a hobby, like you want to get into chess because you saw Hikaru or Magnus and you want to learn how to play chess. Don't shoot it down because you're not going to be good or your videos won't look like Mr. Beast's. Dude, just hop in, just start. And you never know where it'll go. 8 years later, you might be having a blast, the same amount of fun that you had the first day. So, I mean, Retro, what got you into streaming and content creation?
Well, see, I'm going to use my description to kind of transition more into the comp because it really does go with it. So, BJ, I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do, but me and you played a duo cash cup where we scored 142 points in 10 games. And I was like, wow, I really just put on a shitty performance for his stream.
I don't worry. I remember that vividly. We landed at that very corner part because you recommended it. I was like, this looks like a pretty good spot.
And then ended up being conned by 3 teams every single game.
No, I don't understand that. I really didn't understand that. It's not even your fault we played bad. I just was so not prepared. I was like, this is gonna be the most unconned. We're gonna get free. There's gonna be free placement points. We're gonna be top 10 all 10 games. And we could barely crack placement points for all 10 games. It was a scrap. We could not get off spawn. I remember that.
the funny thing about that is me and Pat had played 2 duo cash cups in that spot and done really well at them and not be conned like 3 out of 10 games. And literally, I think what changed it was Thomas HD and Queasy started landing there on EU. But anyways, that's a sidetrack.
Absolutely.
But yeah, after that, I was like, man, BJ looks like he's having a lot of fun doing this and all. And I was like, I think I kind of want to give it a shot. And then BJ talked to me a little bit after that stream. He was like, I think you could tick off one of the 3 like things that I really look for in streams. It's like, and Mike, you've harped the same things on me. You want to feel the content, the entertainment, or the like skill, like the skilled. And I was like, well, I feel like I'm not the greatest player in the world, but I think I could fill a skill gap and have people have fun watching. And that was just where it all started. And then as I started going along, whenever me and Mike started to get real close, he helped me set up my OBS, and that was a project. But it was fun. Like, Mike taught me everything I know about streaming. I'm not even going to boil it down. I'm just going to boil it down to that. Mike taught me everything there is to know about streaming. Little golf clap. But yeah, I think BJ was the main one that inspired me to start streaming.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm going to be putting out an open application for a new host to replace BJ.
No, why did you hear that? We're not making a comeback.
The 2-in-1. No, dude. I'm just glad you're making content. Like, there's so many people there's so many people that like tell me they want to make content. And it's like, dude, just fucking do it. Well, I don't have BJ's Shure SM7B. I don't have Retro's skill. I don't have Michael's complete unhingedness on stream where I'm just kind of crazy. Yeah, but you are you, and there's only one of you, and you'd be surprised how unique and interesting you are with your own personality and experiences and all of that. And even if you're not, and you're just an average person, like genuinely and truly all of us are, somebody's going to relate to you. So just do it. Put it out there. My first streams looked terrible. I mean, my audio, my voice was bad. My gameplay was dog. Like, there was no redeeming qualities. But guess what? As soon as someone came in and started talking to me, I realized, oh, I can hold the conversation with people. And then people started to watch. Everyone has that thing that they can lean on and have a good time with. I like what, Retro, you were talking about. There are a few things I think every content creator should think about when they're making content. Like, think of them as categories or niches that you can capitalize on based on your own personal strengths. One of them is skill level. Maybe you're just insane at the game. No, maybe you can't hold a conversation or your OBS looks terrible or whatever, but you're good. And people look at that and they put you on a pedestal and think, wow, this player is really good. I'm learning stuff from this. I'm entertained by the fact that they're wiping ranked lobbies, whatever. Lean on that if that's you. If you have a really good personality, people think you're funny, you're extroverted, you can interact and engage with chat a lot. Great. Do it. Go live. Talk to everybody in chat. Remember them, whatever. And then the third thing, which to me personally, I think is the hardest thing, but if you can have a vision for creativity, for telling a story, for creating content, lean on that. Maybe don't go live. Maybe make videos. Tell a story. Bring people through an experience. Things like that. So think about those 3 different kinds of content and capitalize on what's best for you. Like, I think what you said earlier, BJ, other streamers are really good at certain things, but, not everybody's good at everything. And you should lean on what you do best, not what other people do best. Because, say if big streamer raids me, maybe I'm not as skilled as them. I can't run around and try to play like them because what's going to happen? Their viewers are instantly going to compare me to the person that raided me and think, oh, this guy's not that good, right? So be you, always.
And it also goes back to, like, here, whenever I think about all 3 of us streaming, the way I think about it is if you load into my stream, you're probably going to see me playing some form of ranked. If you load into Mike's stream, you're going to be entertained. Like, that Mike's very good at entertainment. If you go to BJ's stream, you're going to see the best content, in my opinion, out of the three of us. Like, and each one, none of us are the same. Like, we all are so good in our respective regions that we try to target on YouTube.
I think something that's important in terms of like, you know, everyone's content journey. I always emphasize it. Everyone's content journey is different. There's no blueprint to it. There's no like, oh, I use this audio, I'm gonna have 1 million subs. It may look like that sometimes, but that's not how it genuinely works. Correct.
Yeah.
So, everyone has a different journey. I think something that I loved in my content journey so far. I've been doing this. A lot of people don't know this, but I've been doing like I posted my first YouTube video ever. It was a Minecraft Pocket Edition. Like it was a
No
Minecraft
way.
Pocket Edition gameplay. Like on my iPad, the recording was upside down because I have no idea how to edit or anything, and my recording was just it was mirrored. I don't know how to fix it or anything. I posted that in 2014. Yeah, no, it's been. I thought about it like the other day. I was like, dang, I've been doing this for more than 10 years. But like, something that I really think that was very rewarding was just, you know, looking back and seeing like, hey, I was really bad at that. I never leaned on that at that time, but now it's viable and it's in my list of things that I can do now, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Like I said earlier, I wasn't a big person when it came to talking to chat, but now I feel like I can just yap all the time on camera and I don't feel like there's any like nervousness anymore there, you know? So it's a lot of fun to see that progression in any sort of category in streaming. And that's the beauty of it. There's so much things you can attack. There's so much things you can improve on. It's never just one attribute. You max that to 99. It's never like that. So that's
Dude,
something that I've always enjoyed.
I always knew you were an iPad kid.
I was a big iPad kid. I played
knew it.
Pocket Edition, Clash of Clans. I had Where's My Water. I had the whole app
Don't forget about Jetpack Joyride.
I had Jetpack Joyride. I literally everything. I had Flappy Bird before it was actually deleted off the App Store. Like
Nice.
I loved mobile games, man.
Dude, Flappy Bird was the talk of the town freshman year of high school.
Yeah, it was. It was for me too.
When did
Not high
Flappy
school,
Bird
but
come
middle
out
school.
for you guys? Middle school?
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it was early middle school for me.
Was it
Maybe
middle
late
school?
elementary.
I feel like we weren't in middle school yet.
Oh God, I'm
Actually,
old
no,
as
it could have been
fuck.
late elementary. It could have been late elementary school. No, it had to be. Yeah, it was like 4th or 5th grade, maybe.
No, man. I'm so old, dude. No, dude. Freshman year of high school, I remember in math class, I had a teacher in math. Shout out to him. I won't say his name. Because of the millions of people watching, obviously don't want to DDoS. No. But he was he was a football coach that was teaching math. So you know how that class went. You know, it was pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like he had, you know, algebra on the PowerPoint and everyone had their phones out in front of them. And they're either playing Flappy Bird or they were playing Temple Run. One of the two.
Temple Run.
And I just remember at one point he had sat down because he was so laxed. You know, he's the football coach, so he didn't really care. He was so laxed. He sat down and went on his computer and nobody in the class noticed because literally everyone was playing like Temple Run or Flappy Bird. Good times. Were you guys good students?
I was a pretty good student until COVID happened, and then everything kind of just went.
Yeah.
So
See, for me, I went to
that's my academic story.
Yeah. Well, see, I went to a single A private school where we had, let's see, our entire high school was 33 people. And then
Ooh.
our whole school was 215. And I graduated with 13 people. So like we were really small. And it was like, you know, most of the people that were at that school were farmers' kids. So, you know, you're not really expecting a whole lot out of a bunch of farmer kids. So, I mean, I graduated with like a 3.95 GPA, but I didn't do but probably half the work that I was ever assigned.
Dude.
But it was so easy to get away with stuff like that.
That is such a small class. My graduating class was bigger than your whole school.
Yeah, the class I
same.
graduated with in college was twice as big as my entire school population.
Man, yeah, the school I went to was so big. It was the biggest 4A school in the state. So big that we had to split it and make two high schools. in the
Oh,
same
yeah.
city. And my graduating class was north of 250. I want to say somewhere between 250 and 275. But
Yeah.
before we split, there was the graduating class was a couple hundred, like 400 or 500 people. There was over like almost 1,500 to 2,000 kids at the same school.
That's crazy.
Man, what is that farmer education like, Retro? Is it like
you know
you got that 3.95 GPA, but it's like you said, a bunch of farmer kids. Like, are you guys really studious and you're diving into the books, or is it really just kind of like a, hey, this is what I'm doing for now, but in reality, my family does this, and like that's what I'm going to do after work or after school?
Well, there was a cut. So out of the 12 or 13 people I graduated with, only 4 of us went to college. So, and I think only 2 of us finished college. So, you're not really expecting a whole lot out of a class like that. Like, the school I went to, just, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's like you sent your kids there just to get them a high school diploma, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't really, which, I mean, like I said, you got to think of the area it's in. It's just a bunch of farmers around here. Like, you're not going to see anybody go to like Microsoft and become a developer out of the school I was from. Like, you're going to see somebody who's going to crack a beer at the end of the day and get pissed off when a hydraulic hose busts. Like, that's all you're going to have people that know how to fix a tractor and crack a beer. That's about it.
Dude, that sounds like the life to me. I mean, and not even to say
it's
what
so
I
much
said
fun.
as like an insult. By no means am I saying that. It's just like,
No, 100%.
the
I know
people,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
like the city I'm from, and that big high school that got split into 2. There's a lot of rural area around where there's lots of farmers and people like that raise cattle. And those people in those families would straight up say, hey, I'm here, like you said, just to get a high school education, just to get my diploma. Then what am I going to go do? I'm going to be the heir to the family farm. Like, that's going to make me way more money than going and doing whatever, because our family's been doing this for generations and generations. Like, yeah, dude. Oh my God. My high school is so scuffed though. So scuffed.
Yeah, like literally which my tuition semesterly in high school was 5 times the amount that I paid in college, which the college I went to was extremely cheap. Like, I think it was like maybe $1,500 a year, something like that. Like, it was cheap, but
yeah,
I mean, I got my degree. I got out. So I made it a lot further than what most teachers over there expected me to. So big, not a finger over. But
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun, man. Like, but let me tell you, on the football field, man, we'd scare a bunch of public schools because we were just a bunch of knuckleheads running around just trying to hit somebody real hard. Literally, our coach told us, he said, I want 12 hats to the ball, or whatever that saying is, however many hats to the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We're like, we see ball, we're going to go get ball. Like, that's essentially. But I mean, that's what it was. We were just a bunch of country kids that wanted to hit the crap out of somebody.
Man, I wish I'd played football. Like, I continued to play football.
So much.
I quit when I went into high school.
Dude, it was so, which for a school like what you went to, it's a lot more competitive. Like, for us, it's, hey, can you flip this tractor tire over? Good, you're on the team. Like, and our football team at the biggest it was, I mean, I'm talking about like record-breaking big. It was like 22 people.
Ooh.
But
that's a packed team.
Yeah. And every single one of us also played baseball. And we also played golf. We also shot on the shooting team. Like, you played everything, including basketball. Over 3/4 of the football team played basketball.
Did you play any sports, BJ?
Yeah, so I was
Stacking,
there was the cup stacking, but that was in high school. By then I was retired. I was out of the game.
That's actually super cool too. We got to talk about that after.
Oh yeah, we definitely should.
It was impressive.
In high school, originally I was trying to play basketball, but that didn't end up happening. I remember my orientation, like they have the little, like, it's not like a career fair, but it's like the club fair where it's like, oh, sign up here, and I was like, I want to play basketball, and I signed up. They never called me. But like the cross country team was like, hey, like you want to run? Because I ran in middle school too. In middle school I ran and I played basketball. So I was just like, man, I guess I'll just go run. So all 4 years I was track, cross country, and I was pretty good at it too. So
Yeah, didn't you do like an IRL stream where like you had to run a bunch of miles on stream?
yeah, I was nowhere near where I was in high school, but I did the 5 mile run because it was one of the incentives.
That's
Didn't you
crazy.
and Grant do that?
Huh? Well, Grant, if you're here, applaud you. I think he was there for like 2 miles of it, and then I went off and did my own stuff.
So you're saying he's a quitter? That's what you're saying?
No, I think he just wasn't. He didn't know that the 5 was gonna hit that hard.
So you're saying he's a quitter? Is that what you're saying?
Grant, you're in here. You can defend
he's in
yourself.
here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're a quitter. Is that what you're saying? Okay. That's all right. Hey, I guess we all can't hang on the 5 mile run. Hey, I couldn't do it. So, I wouldn't even start.
Dude, no. A mile, I'm gasping for air. I need an ambulance.
Dude,
no. But yeah.
I could run in basketball. We did a lot more sprints than we did like long-term conditioning. But I mean, that would add up cumulatively to good conditioning. But I think my fastest ever mile time was like 6:50. And I was like, damn, that's pretty good for me. Because I hate running, dude. I absolutely hate running. But that was like peak conditioning. That was the time I had the 36-inch vert. I had just come back from having tonsillitis. If you guys know what tonsillitis is, it's kind of like where you get strep throat, but it doesn't go away. Yeah. So I went for 3 straight months of medical procedures fixing that, which I won't go into detail because it's gross. And then antibiotics and painkillers for 3 months. I went from 220 to 170 pounds because I couldn't eat for 3 months straight. And then I took a medical gray shirt, so I didn't play that whole year for college basketball. And after that, I got put on a meal plan and like worked my way back up. So I was like, I lost all my fat, a lot of my muscle, and I got back into it. And yeah, dude, I ran like a 6:50. Whoo, dude, I thought I was Usain Bolt. I was on top of the world, dude.
Dude, I think my best mile was like 8:12, maybe. You said, I'm just out there. I'll flip a tire. I'll put your tire back on your car, but I ain't running for shit. If we ever have a zombie apocalypse, just run in front of me. I promise you, I'll be the last or the first one got.
Oh, don't get me started on the zombie apocalypse, dude. I got the plans.
Dude, did y'all want to hear my mile time, or do we want to just
no? Go ahead, drop it. Flex on us.
All right. So, my PR in high school was 4:51.
Oh my god, dude, you're crazy.
I'm not like I'm on a database. You could look it up. It's 4:51, and it was an indoor track too. Oh my
dude, that's great. No, and my peak was definitely in high school when I could do stuff like that, but I was a nose guard and a tight end, so I didn't have to run a whole lot. So I was like, yes, this is my spot. But when I was really in high school and like working out every day, eating right, I probably got up to 220, 225 on a little over 6 foot frame. Like I was stout, so I could not do a lot of running. Like that's crazy. A 4:51 mile, I've never heard of that.
It was all I ever did, like it wasn't like, it's not like other sports where it's like, that's like part of the conditioning thing. That is all you do. You just, it's rep after rep after rep. Of course it's different. And like, we do long runs, we do like time trials and stuff like that, but it's all we focus on. So it was just like, it was an experience. I always wondered what it would have been like if I just stuck with basketball instead.
You could be Shea, just getting all those free throws, Yeah, I'm gonna learn the arm hook and there you go
up and everything. Yeah.
No, I mean the sweep through.
I have a story with like basketball. My freshman year in high school, I was 5 foot flat, so it was kind of just like at that point I was like, I'm cool with just running, which kind of worked out too because I grew as high school went, so my stride just like got longer and my foot speed stayed the same. So it was cool for that. But if I was the height that I am now entering high school, I think I would have been a lot more strict about. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to do basketball right now.
Dude, growing up, football and basketball were the only ones that I really loved to play. Like baseball, nah, baseball was so boring to me. Now I'm actually a baseball
Dude, I loved
fan.
it when I was in high school.
Dude, now, like within the past 2 months, I've become a huge baseball fan. Like, and I don't know anything about it. I'm still learning, but like, I love watching the Mariners play now, especially Cal
Yeah.
Raleigh, the big dumper dude on his home run stretch right now. But running for the sake of running, BJ, I gotta applaud you, man. I could never.
Yeah.
You could never
I
get
couldn't
me
either.
out there and just. Fun fact. So going into sophomore year, I was a one sport athlete playing basketball. I was a really good quarterback in middle school, but the quarterback I would have been competing against ended up playing for the Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, he's a good quarterback. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to, beat that guy out. And we ran a very run heavy offense. So there was no wide receiver hopes for me either. That was my second option. So I quit football, and one of my buddies, I'll never forget, dude, I love this guy, David. If you ever see this clip, which you probably never will, shout out to you, David. He was like, Mike, you should come do track and field. Like, you'll get in really good shape. You'll have something to do in the off season. Like, it's not hard. You just run, and even if you're bad, you get better, and you'll be way better at basketball. And I'm like, all right, bet. So he says, hey, go to this trail nearby. This is our first run of the preseason or whatever. And it's just like kind of getting everybody in track and field back together. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm driving, or my mom is driving me because I'm a freshman. I don't have my license yet, or going into sophomore year. And she's driving me there. It's like 5-10 minutes away. And I'm texting him like, hey, is this the spot we need to meet up at? Like, how long's the run? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, it's a 3-mile run. And BJ's sitting there laughing like, 3 miles, man, that's cake. I said, hey, Mom, turn this car around.
I really don't blame you. You think track and field a lot. You're just like, oh, I'm going to sprint and stuff like that. And then the first thing they lay on you is like, yeah, okay, we're gonna go hit the trail. We're gonna do 3 miles. Like, no, I completely understand it because I've had a lot of friends that were just like they were conditioning. They didn't run for like the running part. They just wanted to condition themselves. But obviously, a varsity sport, they're just gonna be like, this is not conditioning. You're here to compete. So yeah, I don't blame anybody for just going like, oh, this isn't for me. I'm getting out.
Dude, she was so mad at me.
I bet, dude. See, like, I've always done stuff that required me just to be the strongest person I could be until I got to, like, golf. And I played golf for, like, probably maybe, like, a year before I got on the high school team. And it's like, when I find something I like, I stick to it and I'm addicted to it. Like, same with streaming, same with playing Fortnite. Like, golf back then was my everything. Like, I stuck to it. I practiced every day, and I got to where I was really strong and flexible. So whenever we played high school tournaments, I had to play from the furthest back tips or from the furthest back tee box because I hit it so much further than everybody else. And
yeah, all right, I see you. I see you, big dog.
No, and in a year and a half, I went from a beginner to the best golfer in my like state competition. And
nice.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I am with YouTube. Like, YouTube hasn't, I kind of went on a little break there, but it's not really something I could control there for a little bit. But that's like I said, like I have such an addictive personality. Like, I've always done stuff that requires me to be as strong as I can. As soon as I got into college, found a pro arm wrestling league, went straight to it, man. And it was so much fun. I wish I still had clips of me doing the professional arm wrestling. And it was like, which BJ, I started, whenever I started watching you, I was kind of on like getting close to the tail end of that career. And like, dude, I was on a little over 6 foot frame. I was about 235. That was the biggest I've ever gotten. And I was strong. But I miss those days, bro. If I could go back to that, dude, no. And something else I think about is, man, I really wish I could go back to the start of my streaming career, knowing what I do now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's hindsight, you know. So it's
Yeah.
just like that's I have conversations with my brother sometimes about it because he does content, but not gaming content. You know, he does other things. But
Wait, yo, good idea for the first guest, aka Brandina.
oh, I mean,
Sorry to cut you off like that, but
no,
that
I
just had to be
mean,
thrown out there.
if he'd be down. But I was talking to him about like content. I was like, it's crazy, right? Content's changed a lot over the past like decade. You know,
Yeah.
it's not stream highlights anymore. It's not VODs unedited. It's so much over editing. At times I sit back, I'm like, sometimes I miss just like it being a little bit more simplistic. I know that's not
Yeah.
how it is now. I know we've got cooked attention spans now. We've got short form. It's easier to grow in some aspects, but it was like, damn, I kind of miss that. Like I miss
Yeah.
editing long forms, you know, just being stupid, having no goal whatsoever in a video, just like here. But nowadays it's like if your video doesn't have a goal in mind or there's like nothing being accomplished in the video, it's instantly like just thrown in the back. I just miss, you know, I used to do it a lot on YouTube. I would just put random clips in and just be like, these were funny to me. But like I feel like nowadays it's kind of just lost in the art of content nowadays. It's still there, just not as prominent.
Yeah.
It's retention editing up the fucking ass, dude. It's like boom, boom, boom. What's up, guys? Boom, boom. It's like, dude, just I can't. Like, you're screaming at me in the first 10 seconds of this video, and I just saw like 18 visuals. What's going on? But then you do, like you mentioned, you have like the guys like Moist Critical who do like a 15-minute like talking head video where he's just like talking through his perspective on something and it gets like 3 million views. But it's just, it's a dying art form.
And again, I love editing, you know, it's always been a passion of mine, but the thing that really like irks me sometimes is just like, because I watch other YouTubers and like try to learn off them, be like, I wonder why their retention rate is so much higher. And then I go watch it and it's like, well, okay, so I do speedrun content here and there. Luke was in the last speedrun. So it was just like, I was like, I'm not going to copy the intros that are popular, but I want to see what's working. And then it's like today I'm speedrunning from Unranked to Unreal, which I tried, but then like they would have like graphic, map comes in. Oh, this is this season. I was like, like we're speedrunning my brain right now. I don't, there's nothing like, I don't get it. I can't go like, I skip those intros and just go to the gameplay. But even then, sometimes the gameplay is heavily like not there.
Yeah.
It's edited, just like sometimes we get to the end of the game and I'm like, how the hell did we get here? Like there was no, like, I get it. People are looking for like, oh, is this guy going to win or not? Let's just skip to the juicy part. But sometimes I'm like, I miss old storytelling, man. I miss like sitting there for the ride. And it was like, man, you know, I suck at this video game, but I'm going to sit here. You're going to watch this 5-hour documentary on how I got better at this video game. It's not like that anymore. It's like hit the 8-minute mark so you can get mid-roll ads and call it a night. So like,
that's damn. I remember back when it was 10 minutes before you hit the mid-roll ads. And like you'd see every favorite content creator you subscribe to put out a 10-minute and like 3-second video. And it's like, oh, now we know why you went to 10 minutes, because this could have been a 6-minute video, but now we're at 10.
I've always wondered why there used to be so many barely over 10-minute videos.
I don't know.
I've always wondered that.
I don't know if you guys remember. I mean, does Noah's Noah ring a bell?
Yeah.
He had like this like fake beef with C-Day. They were both making the same content. Noah's Noah. Yeah. So he made videos like he made highly edited videos at the time. I love C-Day, like Fearless, all them. Like they were part of the reason why I got into YouTube, because it was just like, this is so much fun, man. You're adding laugh on top of laugh. It's so much fun. But Noah's Noah would do high quality videos like that. And obviously it'd be the 6-minute mark. He's like, well, I accomplished my goal. I don't know what else to do. And I was like, I wonder what he's gonna do. I kid you not, a couple of videos you'd put like 4 minutes of just like Jonesy like looking up at the screen and then walking back and forth. That for 4 minutes just so you can get the mid-roll ads. And I respected it. I was like, you did what you needed to do, and get your bag. You accomplished what you got to do and stuff like that. And you didn't take away anything from the video. If anything, we could just skip through the last part. So I was like, I miss content like that. I don't see that as often.
I respect it. And you know what else I respect? Everybody in chat being here, hanging with us on the first episode of Reboot Round. I hope you guys have had a good time, man. Why So Serious, Miniman, Alexander, all of you. Leah, what's good, Leah? Dasso, Mako, Cincy. Ooh, Cincy was in here. Everybody, man. Mike D. I appreciate and love you guys so much, man. This is the end of episode 1, but this is not the last time you guys get to hang out with us, because make sure you check out Mr. at InHawk Retro on YouTube. He's streaming, he's posting shorts, as well as Mr. at BJ Plays PC on YouTube and Twitch as well. You can follow me here or on my OnlyFans. I don't really care, guys. Just figure it out what you prefer, if you want the spicy content or not. But listen, make sure you go to at Reboot Round Podcast and drop a sub. It's at Reboot Round Pod, okay? Because in the near future, this podcast will be streaming and living on that account. That's our joint account, BJ's, myself, and Retros. So I'm not sure what the schedule will be for, the three of us. We'll talk it over and figure out what works best for us and how many streams we'll do on my channel or, BJ's or Retros or whatever before we transition it to the main podcast channel. But make sure you guys check it out, man. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you guys see this, channel, you're at the right place. This is our channel, at Reboot Round Podcast. Shout out to myself for making all the graphics. I'm not a graphic designer, but I hope it's passable.
It looks good.
But please drop us a sub, and of course, check out myself in future streams, Retro and BJ as well on all of their content. Guys, what do you think, man? I mean, I'm pretty energized. This is pretty fun. I think this was good.
Yeah, again, I said this before, chat. That's always something I wanted to do. You see us all the time. We play Fortnite, and like most of the time, that's all we're really doing and chatting back. But hey, we love the chatting part. We really do love the chatting part. And to take away the gaming part and just strictly talk, no matter what the subject is, Fortnite content, memes, stuff like that. Hey, I mean, we enjoy yapping. So
just 3 dudes, dude.
Yeah, hopefully we see you guys in the next one, because this was a lot of fun and it's only going to get better.
And before we end here, I want to test this out, because I didn't try it out on this stream, but I know this is something the three of us would love to do in the future. There's a Q&A feature here within chat that I wanted to test out. What questions do you have for us? If you guys see it pop up in the chat, type something in, drop a question. I'd love for us to, in the future, have a segment where we're answering your Q&As, bringing your stuff onto the stream, your text and your username and things like that. So, I think that would be a fun thing to incorporate in the future. But yeah, look at that, dude. We went from 3 subscribers, which was just us 3, to having 10, which is crazy. Thank you so much for all of the support. Retro, I'm going to bring this question to you. Do you like ice cream? Coming from Alexander, and then BJ, you can follow up on that.
Yes.
Hey,
Butter
okay.
pecan, to be exact.
I was going to say short and concise answer. I like ice cream. I don't know if any of you guys like ube ice cream. Does anyone know?
Oh.
That's
Absolutely.
number 1 all the way up. That's for me. So
That's my close number 2.
the more you know about me. There you go. Ube ice cream. Way to get to my heart, I guess.
I mean, I love ice cream. Dude, I've gained so much weight just from eating ice cream. We'll go to Winco and we'll buy a whole container of ice cream, and I'm the only one that really eats it. and I'll eat the whole thing in a day. Like we can't have it in our freezer. Best
That's
fast
me,
food,
Oreos.
dude. Best fast food restaurant. I will stand on business with this take. It is Jack in the Box. Easy, clear. Jack in the Box of all the traditional fast food chains. Yeah, you can go like something like Dick's, or you could go something like Five Guys, or why putting those two together it just doesn't sound right. Five Guys and Dick's, but great restaurants. But yeah, Jack in the Box for me, easy.
I don't know. I always tend to swap around in this. I don't know. I've been having a lot of Popeyes recently, so I think I'll go with that for now. I don't know. That's what I've been downing a lot recently. This could change tomorrow, but that's my fave today.
Mine is one that's not even located within 500 miles of me. It is or no, it's like 250, but is Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh my!
It's a
Okay,
whole-
yeah. Dave's is pretty good.
Oh, dude, it's so good, bro.
Ooh.
Nashville
Okay.
Hot Chicken, mint.
All right. Last question before we end, because I'd feel bad not answering this question. What's your biggest advice to small gaming channels that are just getting started or already started and just trying to grow?
Okay. I guess I'll go first. This is always something that's brought up, and I'm pretty sure all of our streams, obviously, people love to learn about something that they're getting into, and we respect that. We give it our best answer. My biggest thing, in terms of starting out, as a smaller creator, is kind of what helped me a lot is having my friends on. Of course, I understand there's some friends you can't have on stream and stuff like that. I get that, but having someone is going to behave on stream and everything, just chatting with them, having a good time. They bring the best out of you and all that kind of stuff. Because when you start off, you're anxious. You're alone. You're looking at chat by yourself. Always having someone next to you, a part of it at the beginning. It fills out the empty spaces, because when you're starting, you don't think about it a lot, but chat's not moving or anything like that. It's part of the process, and you end up just going quiet. You end up just looking at the screen, not saying anything. Your stream becomes a lot less stimulating to the average viewer. So just having someone there to chat, talk with, show a little bit of yourself when you're talking with other people. That's something that helped me at the very beginning, and then I was able to branch out from there. So that's probably one of my biggest pieces of advice starting out.
I would go along similar lines. If you're looking just for growth in particular, this is like what I've been doing recently, trying to lean more into the growth part. You can go on, if shorts is by far in a way the best way to grow on YouTube. I don't think there's any real competition. Go to the audios and see what's trending. Like, keep in your mind, like, if you find an audio, say it's got 50K uses one day, if it's got 65 to 70 by the next day, use that audio. It's going to get views. It might not be that day, it might not be the next, but it's going to get views at some point in time. And then something else, just like another big trend right now is using that AI voice in your shorts. Like, AI voice stuff does so well in shorts right now, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. Another tidbit on the shorts audio. One way you can identify shorts that are trending, if you're lazy, is just scroll through a couple shorts. And if you hear shorts multiple times, click on it and save it, use it. On self promo here, I have some of the best shorts audios on YouTube. So go ahead and use some of mine. They're kind of crazy. But
I love them.
I think the biggest motivation for people becoming content creators, specifically with the gaming space, you need to identify some sort of intrinsic motivator within yourself that will drive you through all of the hard work you need to accomplish to become the content creator that you hope to be in 3 months, 9 months, 5 years, whatever. That intrinsic motivator needs to be something within yourself that will push you through and drive you to those goals no matter what. I'm not talking like looking externally and thinking about money or thinking about fame or thinking about a lifestyle. I'm thinking about the things within yourself that you can identify and say, man, I want to become a content creator because I love it. Okay? Because I want it. Nothing is going to stop me from that. And then taking that, pinning it to your wall, and looking at that every day and seeing that sign that says, hey, post 1 video a day, or go live 3 times a week, or make a community post, or meet 1 new streamer today, not to self-promo, but to build your network. Do it because you love it and because you want it. Don't look at the outcomes and the end goals and chase those. The times I've been most successful in my professional life in sales or most successful in growth on YouTube is when I detach myself from the outcomes that I'm chasing and fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process and chase that. If you're in the gym every day putting up shots because you want to put up shots and you love seeing the ball go through the net, you're going to become, you know, the best 3-point shooter in the GNAC per percentage. Type shit, all right? But if you just want to be out there because you look good, maybe the girls are watching you in the stands in college, and there's this social thing where if you put a round thing and a round thing in front of a bunch of people, everyone thinks you're the man, then, you know, maybe you're not working as hard. So that's my advice. But let's cut it there because we could keep yapping forever, especially old man here. So thank you so much, guys. I love all of you. Make sure you follow us at Reboot Round Pod to watch the next episode. I saw Mr. Mako bring up the schedule. I think we're going to do this probably once weekly, either live or pre-recorded. You know, the 3 of us will work out the schedule and, you know, probably end up doing both. Maybe a live show and then uploading it as a VOD, that kind of thing. But we'll figure it out. Just make sure you go follow us at Reboot Round Pod on YouTube, as well as follow all of our personal channels at InHawk Retro and at BJ Plays PC. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we out.